And on today's show, how understanding the taxation of Social Security benefits can help you manage your retirement income. Part 5 of this week's series on Managing Social Security Benefits, America's #1 retirement plan, with nationally recognized author, platform speaker, and retirement expert, Tom Hagna. Hi everyone, I'm Steve Savant, syndicated financial columnist and contributing author to Innsmark, LifeSpecs, and Backroom Technician. Let's get down to business. Well, welcome to the show. Wow.
Hey, Steve, great to be back.
Tom, I'm so thankful that you're here, and today this is the big one because we've told you how all throughout the week, strategies, tactics, you need to know the basics. If you can understand this whole week's show, this next part is really something we got to play because now all of a sudden we're getting all our benefits. That's great, but now we're going to get them taxed. Now, back in the day when they invented this, I was told we didn't have to pay any tax on this.
So there's two things, and people get confused on this, Steve. There's an earnings test. This isn't taxation. This is a reduction in benefits for earning too much money, if you can believe it. I don't know why the government would say they should be encouraging people to make as much, but they're saying if you earn too much, we're taking some of it back.
But is that a tax or is that
it's not a tax
benefit?
But in the second part of today, we're going to talk about the taxation. But there's a lot of confusion around this. So let me try to clear up a little bit anyway. So here's the deal. If you retire at your full retirement age, which for some people is 66, for some people is 67, for some people is in between, there's no penalty. So once you reach full retirement age, you can make as much as you want. They're not going to take any of your Social Security benefits back. If you retire, let's say at 62, and you start taking your Social Security benefits, they're going to take back $1 in benefits for every $2 that you earn over $15,720. And then in the year of your full retirement, just to make it really complicated, they're going to take back $1 in benefits for every $3 earned over $41,880. So if you work prior to age 66 or 67, they will take some of your Social Security back if you earn more than these levels.
Well, now I'm hearing two things. Now, make sure I got this right. At the beginning of the week, you said if you start at 62, we get a reduced benefit.
Right.
But now I'm working on top of that. It reduces it even further.
Even further.
Oh, my goodness.
Now here's something a lot of people don't know. When they reduce and they take it back, that money isn't gone. See, for years, I thought it was gone. It's not gone. What they do is they put it back into the calculation for future years. So, like, if you were working and you did give up benefits, your future Social Security benefits will be higher. But there's some other things you need to know here, Steve, as well. So, first of all, what counts as wages? Well, your salary counts, hourly pay, any bonuses, any commissions, any severance pay, and employee's contribution to a pension or retirement plan. So that's all considered wages. So that's what counts for that $15,720. Okay?
I'm sorry, I just got to ask you this to make sure I'm clear. I'm contributing to my ERISA retirement plan, which I'm supposed to get a deduction for, but now, if I'm taking it during the Social Security pre-full retirement age, that's getting hit as well.
It counts in the excess,
calculation.
in the calculation of what your income is. Now, what does not count? It does not count investment income or capital gains or annuity income or pension or government benefits or inheritance. This is only like working type income. And you're working, and so they're pulling back benefits if you earn over a certain level. Also not included limited partnerships, interest received from a loan, dividend income, bond interest income. Now, all of this stuff is going to count in the next segment when we talk about the taxation, but it doesn't count towards the earnings test. But the good news, as I said, benefits are not actually lost. They're merely deferred, and so they go back into the calculation, and your future Social Security will be higher.
So if you were really tight for money, and this was the only way you could go at age 62, I get it. Okay,
you can do it.
But your benefits are going to somehow be redeposited, right? Yep. And your benefits will come back later on.
Later on, you will get paid over time the ones that you lost.
Well, that's good news.
That is good news, and a lot of people don't know this.
No, they don't. In fact, actually, I'm sure, and write me if you say, Steve, I agree with you. Did you know this as an advisor? I don't think so.
Right. Yeah. So I think that's kind of the news for the earnings test. It's something that a lot of people don't understand. It's not a tax, but it's actually a reduction in benefits for working while you're collecting Social Security benefits.
We come back from the break. I want to talk about the tax side of this issue, the second part of the provisional income test. Right after the break, we'll get into it. It's not how much money you make for your clients, it's how much money they get to keep, especially in retirement. But retirement income could cause Social Security benefits to be taxed. One tax advantage alternative is life insurance designed as a non-modified endowment contract that can generate tax-free income without taxing Social Security benefits. These contracts offer differing funding options depending upon your client's risk tolerance. For more information on how life insurance can be part of your retirement planning, just email me at steve@downtobusiness.tv. Brought to you by Ash Brokerage, the practice enhancement company. Well, welcome back to our second segment. Of course, we're with Tom Hagna. Tom, you're talking about the earnings test, and I thought that was it. But there's really two parts to this. Now we're talking about the taxation of the benefits itself.
Right. And a lot of people don't understand. The first one is if you earn too much, they're going to take some of your Social Security. It's a reduction of Social Security benefits. This is the taxation of Social Security
on the benefits. Yeah.
On the benefits. Yeah. So here's kind of the rules. When you receive Social Security benefits, you may owe taxes on up to 85% of your Social Security benefits. All right. They add together many different categories of your income. I have a good word for it. Basically everything. Now it isn't everything because you can get Roth IRA money out and that doesn't count. There's a couple things that don't count, but almost everything counts, okay? The total income used to determine Social Security benefit taxation includes adjusted gross income plus tax-free income and half of your Social Security benefits. So they add half of your Social Security benefits and all of your tax-free bond interest. Many people don't know this.
Well, not only that, but Tommy, we actually had a client who we reviewed their 1040. The 1040 showed an inordinate amount of AMT, alternative minimum tax. We discovered part, not all, but part of his municipal holdings were exposed to this idea of AMT because he was loaded up on private municipal bond issues, and it caused it. But then I had to inform him, not only are you paying AMT on tax-free bonds that you thought you had, but it's also causing an ordinary income tax on your Social Security benefits.
Right.
Most people that are trying to play the defeat Uncle Sam government tax issue don't realize this is the punitive way to go.
Yeah, and so here's the deal. What income is used? Basically, one word, it works. Everything. It's your modified adjusted gross income plus non-taxable interest, your tax-free bonds, plus half of your Social Security benefit. That's called your combined income, and that's what is taxed. Now, here's the tax table.
Can I stop you there for a second? I'm sorry to say. Flip back.
Yes.
Go back one. This one thing I just want to point out just to make sure we're all on the same page. Everybody still thinks the calculation is on the first page of the 1040 at the bottom at the adjusted gross income. But you see what Tom put here? It's modified adjusted gross. Magi has 7 different iterations and versions of taxation. This play right here alone, you're going to find mistakes because modified adjusted gross is add back on income.
Right.
And to me, Tom, there's another area where we're just not thinking clearly.
Right. So here's the meat of the taxation of Social Security benefits. And let me just tell you a story. When I was a brand new agent, I was working zip code 85206 in Mesa, Arizona. Now, you know what's out in Mesa, Arizona? Leisure World's out there. So there's a lot of older people out there, okay? And I learned this by accident, all right? Because out there's a lot of middle-income seniors. Guess what they buy? They buy tax-free bonds. You know why? Because they're tax-free and they're tired of paying taxes. And they also had a bunch of money in CDs. Now, this was when CDs were paying 7, 8, 9% interest, and the CD interest and the tax-free bond interest causing them to pay tax. So here's what I found. If you are single and you have less than $25,000 of income, or if you're married and you have less than $32,000 of income, you're going to pay 0 tax on your Social Security benefits. But Steve, if you're rich, and what does the government consider rich? Well, if you're single and you have income of $25,000 to $34,000, or if you're married and you have $32,000 to $44,000, you're considered rich, and now up to 50% of your Social Security benefits can be taxed.
At the tax bracket level.
At whatever tax bracket you're in. But if you're ultra rich, like the Bill Gates rich, and what the federal government says is if you're single and you have income over $34,000 and you're married and you have income over $44,000, then you're ultra rich, 85% of your Social Security benefits can be taxed. So think about this. You've got a client, they've got $1,000 a month in Social Security benefits, they got $1,000 a month in tax-free bond interest, they got $1,000 a month in maybe dividend income from stocks, and $1,000 a month from CD interest. Did you know you could take that person from paying tax on up to 85% of their Social Security benefits down to 0? I did it many times. And that's how I made MDRT my first year, is that I helped a lot of people go from tax on 85% down to 0. And if you can help older people go from 85% down to 0, guess what? You become very popular. They tell all their friends. Their friends tell all their friends. And I was just going around, just looking at the front page of their 1040, I could tell in 5 seconds, can I help them or not? See, if you got somebody and they're retired from Motorola, they're getting $80,000 a year in pension, there's nothing you can do, there's nothing I can do. They're going to pay tax up to 85% of their Social Security benefits. But it's these people who have tax-free bonds, they got some rental properties, they got some other stuff. Let me tell you, they'll sell some of their rental properties if that's causing them to pay tax up to 85% of their Social Security.
I think someday we may have to do a workshop just on this sales idea, how to read a basic 1040. You'll know right away if there's a very good play for the client to reduce their taxation. I think that's huge.
Yeah, and you can move that money from a tax-free bond or a CD over into a deferred annuity where they report zero unless they take the money out, or you put it into some type of lifetime income where only a very small part is reportable because of the exclusion ratio. So knowing this table, and by the way, I put this table in Paychecks and Playchecks, I put this table in the Don't Worry Retire Happy book, and I put this in the Social Security Guide. This is a key chart to know.
So once you know this and have a pretty good understanding of that 1040, you can really help a client reduce their taxable event.
I worked the middle income senior market in Mesa, Arizona, made MDRT, led my office in production just by knowing this, and I learned it by accident.
Well, that's all the time we have for today, I'm sorry to say. Remember, before moving forward with any of the ideas on our show, always consult your tax advisor, legal counsel, or your broker-dealer compliance officer. Missed an episode? Just go out to our video archives. And remember, you could be wiser as an educated advisor. I'm Steve Savant. We'll see you next week.